So we meet again, nerds. We're back on the formal lab, and this wasn't yesterday. This was yesterday. We started the first page of the formal lab, and so now you're ready to move to the second page, um, which is creating the data tables and looking at a graph refresher and doing some research on the background. So we are here today. Next time I see you will be Monday, the 16th or 17th. That'll be this day, 16th and 17th, and that's when we're actually doing the data collection. We're doing the data collection and analysis, so it's going to be kind of a crunched day. There'll be a lot to do, so you're going to come in like ready to go and with a nice prepped pre-lab. So this is what we're looking at for today. All right, so we already got this up and running, and you had the first page of this set up with your research question and background and hypothesis, variables, equipment, all nicey nice with your nice title up here. And now we're on to the second page, which is processing and evaluating. Now you haven't taken any data yet, so what you need to do is set up your data table for your raw data. So when you take the data, you can just put it right in, and you don't need to waffle around with anything. And then you'll be able to do your calculations quickly, final results table and graphs right away. These are what you're going to do mostly when we see each other next time on Monday or Tuesday. And so we want to prep that and make sure that's solid by building the raw data tables today. And also, we're going to look at some graphing videos to make sure you're comfortable doing some graphing. So we're going to make sure you're ready to do this piece, and Ms. Jarvis is going to help us out with that. So that's what we're up to today. So let's get looking at that. All right. So for this raw data table, if you open that formal lab again, the exemplar, if you don't have it, it's still here. This is the Science9 folder in the VLE, and here's the formal lab. It should look like this now, this first day. Here are your video instructions. Here are your video instructions for this day. The files are down at the bottom. Here's this lab format is this guy, and this exemplar is this guy. So you should have access to those sitting right there. So here's the exemplar. We've done all of this hypothesis. This should be all filled out. The variables, you should be basically done with all of this part. Safety. And now we're on to this raw data. Yeah. And you're going to build a table like this. Yeah. You don't really know what data is going in there, so all of this part is going to be empty, but I want these headings sitting here. I want this number of trials, right? You're going to have to think about how many trials are you going to drop. Like, are you just going to drop once at a certain temperature, or are you going to drop 3 times at a certain temperature, or 5 times? You're going to have to build tables to reflect that, right? Give me good titles. Give me good units, right? All of that should be in place and ready to go, so you don't have to mess with it. Once you have your data, you have a table that says, all right, well, I'm dropping from this height. This is controlled, so you have a title up here, right? And we said I'm dropping a ball that's 0 degrees C. And here's trial 1, 2, and 3, right? Trial 1, 2, and 3. And this is the height at 0 degrees C. And here's the height at 20 degrees C. And here's trial 1, 2, and 3. So everything's sitting there ready for you to go. So all you have to do is input the data, and then you can go from there. Yeah? You're going to take those and you're going to do calculations. You're going to find the mean, and that's going to need sort of a processed data sheet, right? So you're going to have a reaction time mean. So you're going to have a 0 degrees Celsius mean, right? So that's an average, and that's where this came from. So you're going to build a processed data table to show the mean for this temperature and the mean for that temperature, or the mean for this pressure and the mean for that pressure. Yeah, and those will fit in there. And then maximum error and minimum error, because later we're going to graph these, right? And you're going to have a graph like this. And Ms. Jarvis has some nice videos for you, but you're going to have your mean and your error bars, and here you're going to have your maximum and your minimum, your mean and your maximum and your minimum, right? Your mean and your maximum and your minimum, right? And then your line of best fit. We did that at the beginning of the semester. If you're not sure where that what to do with those, there's some videos I'll show you in a second where to look for them. All right, so that's your big task today, is set this up, and it's not straightforward. You're going to have to think about how to best display the data. And if you can figure that out now, it's going to make your data collection easier. So think in your mind on Monday when you come in, what are you going to measure and how are you going to display it? Yeah, it's going to take you a little bit of time. Once you're done with that, you can jump into thinking about how you're going to build these graphs and what you're going to need. If you're unsure about how to build these graphs, in this day 2 processing and evaluating, it's the second page, here's the video that you're watching right now. These are video tutorials about how to make a graph, how to do the error bars, how to show the data labels. Those are all courtesy of Ms. Jarvis, and you can thank her for those later. So that's your next task, because on Monday you're going to take the data, but you're also going to be crunching the numbers that day. And so you're going to need to come in with this in your quiver of arrows and not try to figure this out on Monday. Figure this out today. So that's what you can do next after you're done with the data tables. And if you're done with that, then you can go back and research some of this background information. See if there's something, information online that you can find out about as you increase the temperature of rubber, what happens to its elasticity, or same thing with pressure, what's happening with the pressure. So you can add some study there. Great. And you're going to make sure you're ready for Monday when you come in to do your data collection. Okay? That's what's going on today. When I see you on Monday, I'm going to assume that you're going to be ready to go. Use your time wisely, and